Morning, everyone. Max and NDE here at the help desk in Jill. This is our monthly district advisor update meeting. As usual, pop into the chat who you are, where you're from. Just so we're taking roll. Alrighty, everyone. Here, first item about collection windows. This was all in last month's meeting as well. Again, just a reminder that the 18-19 data is still live. That's what we're using for the follow-up collection. The parts of the data that are listed in the calendar as being in the follow-up collection anyway are still getting used. As I've been doing some testing with vendors, though, I find that some vendors are going to really have to kind of manually work with you to support doing 18-19 updates. So it's really just a question between you and your vendor. If you don't know how to update your prior year data. The 1920 document calendars at our advisor resources. And we are very close to getting the data elements guide, hopefully within the next couple of days,
Yep.
I think.
End of this week.
Yep, okay. So within a few days, we will have it posted on the advisor resources website as well. Calendar's there, and the new data elements will go here. Advisor validation, no changes on your end yet. The next time we put out a release, we will activate the 1920 school year. We hope to have all the reports and lookups and most, if not all, of the fall errors running on that first release. We will be sure we do that before the first workday. Vendor documentation, the 3.1, the 1920 upgrade, that's posted. If any vendors are on the line, you saw that I sent an email last week, and so that should be the final version of that documentation, which I sent that email after our production environment went live. So 1920 is officially open for business here, but your individual vendor has to be certified before you will get on there. So I'll talk about the vendors in a minute here. Any questions so far about any of this stuff? You can unmute yourself if you want to say something. Anyway, moving along. Person ID. So, kind of due to the timing of the year, after talking with some folks, we decided we are pushing the release back for Person ID. It will be November 1st because our license for Unique ID only runs through October 31st. So on November 1st, we will shut off the link for Unique ID, and we will be doing the deployment that date.
Well, and we also recognize that the districts are going to be working on their fall data in October and don't want to burden them with also having to start using Person ID during that same time frame.
Yep. So for now, you should be using Unique ID, basically like normal or better than normal, we would encourage. Since now Unique ID is syncing data to Advisor, and that controls student names and birth dates in Advisor, you definitely want to make sure your students in Unique ID are up to date. Definitely recommend using your data download from your assist to upload all your students, assuming you have one. We have a system where unique ID data is transferred over to Advisor every 3 minutes when you create a new ID. So essentially, yeah, it's, you know, almost instant. You would have to be really quick at getting your new ID, downloading it into your SIS, and then publishing your student to run into that 3-minute window. So that means that if you ever get an error, like when uploading your student enrollment, it says student unique ID is required. This year, that error really just means that you put in a student ID that's not recognized. There's probably a typo or a space or something in your student ID. But there'll be a lot less of that type of error this year compared to last year when it was kind of messy where you're uploading students and uploading student enrollments and you had to do it in the right order and that kind of stuff. So less errors when you're doing your publishing. So I think that's a good thing. Obviously, we'll flip that over. Once Person ID rolls out, then Person ID will be syncing with Advisor. But for now, it's Unique ID. We'll be reviewing Unique ID definitely during the work days, fall work days as well. So get familiar. All right, the vendor updates, part everyone loves. TestWiz is currently in the middle of working on testing and certifying. They might be up and running very soon on production. That's for rostering your students into TestWiz. EdgePoint Synergy has been certified. They have a few things remaining to add, but generally, you know, close enough that we certify, and it's kind of got an agreement with them that they've got to make some fixes for their grades, being able to send special education hours and some CRDC fields. Generally, that's how kind of all the vendors are going to certify. GoEduStar is still working on 1920 code, but I've talked to them this week. I know they're working. Infinite Campus is almost done, just about to start certifying. They might be syncing some data to the testing site, but I haven't officially got a start date for certification from them yet. I probably will soon, within the next week, I imagine. JMC is certified. They still have some CRDC stuff to add as well. PowerSchool is kind of in the middle of certification. There's some fixes that they still have to release. There's a set of releases, a batch of things going out in mid-September. It should probably be, around this Friday. And there's going to be another release at the end of September, September 27th. And I think the plan is to basically have all publishing code in place by September 27th there, that release. But, you know, really the place to go to find out about that would definitely be the PowerSchool Advisor Google group here. I know Amy put a note on there recently covering some of those dates, and definitely as the new versions of PowerSchool come out, that will be the place where we will definitely have the updates about what you can and can't do in PowerSchool at that time. So PowerSchool is kind of an ongoing certification we're doing, and some of the key PowerSchool users, we're doing a lot of testing as we go. SIMS certified, they are up and running. And SRS is still working on the 1920 code. I think they're pretty close though. Any questions about the vendors? Or anyone, Scott, I see you're on here. If you had any note about SRS, go ahead and let us know.
Nothing real new there. We're continuing to address issues that people have reported with the new software version that we have. And as far as Advisor, I think you said it correctly. We're working on that, and I think getting close to starting certification with you on that too.
All right. Amy, do you have anything you want to add about our school?
Nope, that's about it. We did get some word. I heard back yesterday. There's still a fix that they owe us for 18-19 in regards to seniors publishing incorrectly. So they were hoping to have a fix out by this next release that comes out Friday, but more than likely it will be released at the end of September. So just like you said, probably we'll be able to start publishing end of September.
Was
sure.
there anything you recommend that Power School districts work on now?
Well, you can go ahead and set up your profile now. And so we are having that PSUG group, that meeting workshop. There's the word for it on next Tuesday on the 17th. I've also set up some webinars. It takes maybe about 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how many people I'm helping, to walk through the setup. And then right now we're simply just leaving everything turned off until we get some of these other fixes addressed. And then right now we probably are at a target date. We were hoping to maybe start publishing next week. I have a meeting with them tomorrow, so I'll know more tomorrow. So look for some information to go out late tomorrow or first thing Friday. But right now I'm thinking we might not be able to publish until that end of September release. So 1st of October.
Okay.
But it could
right.
all change.
Yeah. That's basically everything. Production's fully up and running on our end. We are just in the middle of working on a lot of advisor validation stuff, like usual. And we're really just kind of focusing on getting the basics out for what you need to be looking at in the fall and at your workplace. And then we'll be getting into other enhancements later. So that's all I really wanted to cover today. Any other questions? Any other topics that someone wants to bring up? I don't hear anyone. Unmute yourself, by the way, if you're trying to talk. Otherwise, I think that's it for this week, this month. Next meeting, October 9th. So we'll see you then. Thanks for joining, everyone.